Welcome to Webster Now with your host, Garrett Wagner.
Something that nearly every board meeting ended with for the last 5 years just stopped. No vote, no discussion. The reason? That stayed behind closed doors. There's a letter that recently showed up in your mailbox, which could move your tax bill, and most people misunderstand the math behind it. The board voted to hit pause on development for the first time in years. And that school year everyone swore would be total chaos, it quietly ended up being, you barely heard a word about it. Here's the thread tying all these things together. I'm not going to ask you to take my word for any of it. Every single story tonight comes with a record you can check yourself. I'm going to point you right to it. And just a quick reminder, everything you hear today is my perspective only. Nothing said reflects official town policy or action. So let's check that record. For about 5 years, every board meeting ended the same way, with a little roundtable. It's part where the board members give updates on the department they oversee, recognize employees and volunteers, and talk through what's happening around town, or just what happened at the board meeting, maybe respond to a resident comment. It's an open mic. It's a public forum. At the June 4th town board meeting, a board member asked why, after 5 years, that roundtable had quietly disappeared with no discussion or notice. So let's check the clip.
So one question before we end the meeting, okay? For the last probably 5 years, we've always done a roundtable at the end of the meetings. And all of a sudden, you've stopped that without any discussion with any board member. It's another unilateral decision that you've made. And the roundtable offers the board to give updates to the liaison aspect of their jobs. And I was wondering if you would consider bringing that back.
I would consider bringing it back, but for right now, it's just on a pause.
Do you care to elaborate?
There's just been some staff complaints, so it is on pause.
Can we bring that back for our next meeting?
Can you forward through emails what these complaints are?
They have been in person, and no, that is between me and the staff.
Wow.
Right. Rather than me try and recall from memory what was said in these roundtables, we pulled the transcripts. They're all live on YouTube from all 5 roundtables between February 5th and April 16th, when the last roundtable was held this year. We read every word. We watched the videos. And here's what was in them that we were able to see. Department updates, liaison reports, recognition for employees and volunteers, community events, updated town projects, issues already sitting in front of the town board, and discussed openly during the town board meeting. The closest thing to friction was a board member asking pointed questions about the RNG project, its sequencing, liability, and the timing of this information. And that's not private. That was well known. That's not disrespect in my eyes. That's oversight, and that's a job. Now, could a staff member have still felt uncomfortable? Absolutely. Different people hear the same conversation completely different ways, and those feelings are real and valid. And I'm not here to tell you what to conclude. In an effort to respect your judgment, I'm going to hand you the record. The transcripts and the videos are linked in the comments. Read them or watch them if you're curious. And if you watch those roundtables and you think I missed something, point it out. Let us know what moments. Because an open public conversation is usually a feature of good government. I think it's fair to ask why this one went away all of a sudden. Now, let's move from the boardroom to your own mailbox. There's a letter that just went out across Webster right now that's worth opening especially carefully. Remember a while back when I walked you through Webster's townwide reassessment? We talked about the independent firm, KLW Municipal, and the mass appraisal math. The photos will be taken from the public right-of-way, aerial photographs, because it's not like anyone's going to walk through your living room, right? And I told you to watch out for the spring of 2026 when you get a chance to check the town's information on your own home. Well, that moment's here, baby. The property reassessment mailer was sent out to all 17,000 properties in Webster. And whether you see it yet or not, it's basically the town saying, hey, here's what we think your property is. The rooms, the square footage, the other basics. If it looks right, great. If it's not, you fix it. Mark it up, mail it back, email it, do it online. The town wants them back by the end of August. And if you don't respond, these whatevers are in file, whether it's outdated or not. Mailers like this is usually where civic engagement goes to die, with a typical response rate of 3 to 5%. People see a government envelope and it goes straight into the trash along with those pizza coupons and those political mailers. Except this time, the town has already seen a massive, massive response for a property data mailer that is staggering, staggering. But there's a little bit of a twist there. And that twist is the mailers went out without the cover page. So it caused some confusion of what you were getting. There was no explanation. There's no details. There's no how to send it back. It was just the second page. So, I mean, we're happy that you all read it and called to let us know that pages were missing. Hopefully, at least some of you that did that will actually fill yours out. That's the final step. So if you sent yours back, thank you. If you haven't done it yet, please do. New assessments land around February 2027, which is when this all gets real. And when your new value shows up, your tax bill might change. Now remember, the town accounts for only about 20% of your property tax bill. That's 1/5. The town's goal is to keep this whole reassessment is to keep it net neutral. The same total dollars come in, just divided more fairly. Roughly a third of you might see your town slices go up, a third of you stay the same, and a third of you go down. That's the goal. Now the other 80%, that's where the county and the school district come in, right? That's an important part to remember. You got three major pieces that make that up. The town's just one. Those other groups, they set their own rates. And reassessment is one of the only windows where they're legally able to adjust them. So when your total bill lands, the town's 20% is just one piece of a much bigger number. And the pieces don't all move together. Now, we hope this information can help you make sense of your tax bill. When it shows up, I know you're still going to be worried about it, so pay attention and follow along as this project moves forward. Here's what I've done. If you haven't already, I recommend you do the same. Take a look at the mailer. Ignore the first page. Review the town's record on your house. Make sure it's right. Mail it back, email it, or reach out to the town online. Because the most expensive thing you own deserves 5 minutes of your attention. And looking could mean a few surprises later on. Now, let's move from your own property to the bigger picture of how Webster grows, or maybe pauses that growth for a moment. For a while now, we've been following Webster's comprehensive plan, our long-range roadmap for how the town grows. As you may recall, the town has been working hard to update the plan from its predecessor, dating back to 2008. In that time, Webster's seen accelerated growth, new projects, more proposals, a town changing faster than the plan meant to guide it. And we're feeling that. We're busting at the seams. So the town board did something about it. On June 4th, the town board unanimously, they all agreed, to put a temporary moratorium on certain kinds of development. So a moratorium is simply a pause. Specifically, this moratorium targets large-scale residential projects and developments in key commercial districts and corridors. It also includes large-scale solar and data center projects. The moratorium is designed to give the town breathing room to finish rewriting the comprehensive plan and the code that goes with it. So the next wave of development matches the community's long-term vision instead of racing really far ahead of it.
I said it before and I'll say it again. Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Now, there's one important detail I want to flag for you. The moratorium isn't live just yet. The law passed, but it's subject to a 30-day permissive referendum, which means residents have a window to petition for a public vote on it. After those 30 days, and once it's filed with New York State, it takes effect. So the open question is whether the moratorium will clear the window or will have to go up for a public vote. And if you're curious to learn more about it, or if you've got a project in motion and you're wondering what this means for you, check out the town's website, reach out to the town directly, or talk to your attorney. We've included a link in the comments to the town's webpage with more details in case you got them. Now, let's wrap up with something a little bit lighter, shall we say, and even closer to home for a lot of families. A year ago, last summer, right, a long time ago, when New York's bell-to-bell phone ban hit our schools, lots of concerned residents voiced their thoughts and feelings, and rightfully so. And as the school year comes to a close, I want to reflect on how well we all did with this change. There was no headlines of crises, just another normal, quiet Webster school year down in the books on this front. Right? So kudos to all my fellow parents for sticking it out, all the kids for making it through this year, for the teachers and the staff for their amazing job. You know, we kept the train on the tracks. Kids survived with no phones at school. All right, folks, that's a rundown for this week in Webster. If any of it piqued your interest and you want to dig in, it's all right here. The roundtable transcripts are linked in the comments. The mailer is already in your hands, and the moratorium details are on the town's website. Thanks as always for spending a little time on what's happening around our town. If this was useful, like, follow, and share with a fellow Webster resident. Because as always, every step we take is a step towards a better Webster.
You've been watching Webster Now with Garrett Wagner. Join us next time for more local news and updates.